Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome once again to SRW TV. Tonight, it's round 2 of the Shannons Formula 3 Nationals, and tonight it's a driver's choice track. We don't have the F1s running this week, so it's driver's choice. So by popular demand, we are in the USA at Watkins Glen, a high-speed flowing track that's awesome to drive in these speedy and grippy F3 cars, and it's scary on the limit through those close wall high-speed sections. It's Cowie, your average sim racer here, together with Hamish Munro, once again alongside me and behind the scenes on the cameras for tonight's action. It's going to be another awesome night as we delve into the Formula cars here at SRW, wouldn't you say, Hamish?
Mate, it's going to be absolutely massive. I mean, after an astronomical round 1 at Silverstone, I mean, we already saw the carnage that can now unfold with a nice big field of F3 cars. It's going to be absolutely, outstanding to see these drivers do their best, push their hardest, and to try and navigate this former street circuit, now turned permanent race course, out of Watkins Glen. Now, the biggest news, I mean, you mentioned Formula 1, the biggest news today, obviously, within the open wheel world, is Daniel Ricciardo making his return back to F1, replacing Nick De Vries at AlphaTauri. Now, we haven't got any of those sorts of controversies or rumours happening in our Shannons F3 Nationals, but I just think it's a big piece of news to talk about, especially because we run our parallel series every couple of weeks whenever there's an actual F1 race happening. So, big piece of news coming out of that, but I'm looking forward to tonight's race. It was a massive round 1. Watkins Glen is great for open wheel racing. I remember doing heaps of practice here in the Formula 3.5, and it's such a fun track when you can pull a lap together in these sorts of cars. I'm looking forward to it because these guys are going to be pushing hard.
It's going to be funny, though. It is funny that you sort of talked about the Ricardo's surprise announcement this morning, but I think we've got an announcement as our team. Matty Jones has returned to performance sim racing. He raced with us last year, moved on to the bigger and greener pastures, driving for a couple of the bigger teams, and he missed just hanging with the boys, so he's back with us, buddy. So there you go. There's the controversy to start the night. What do you think out there, guys? Have we stolen him?
I think, I mean, he previously raced for you, which is good. So I think, it's good that he is back with you guys and that he is racing with you guys, of course. So I think, it's a positive.
Man, look, as far as it goes, it was all really about, he's just enjoying spending time. He's been in our room during our practices and helping out the boys quite a fair bit. So, it's almost like he's been a part of the team for a while now anyway.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I think that is another positive when you have actually got a close relationship with a driver. And I mean, Matt is incredibly quick in those supercars. I think he's a hell of a pickup for you guys, and he's not only going to help give you guys a boost in terms of your supercars drivers, but it's also actually going to help you guys sort of improve like within your team itself, because you guys are now going to be able to work with him to be able to learn more about the car or learn some of his tactics or something like that. So I think it's all going to be a positive for you guys as a team.
I think so, and it was when he was with us last time, so it's always good to have someone who's a bit, not just a bit quicker, but way quicker than the rest of you to try and drag you forward. And look, what an awesome field we have tonight, buddy. I can't fit it all on my SDK screen, so that tells me that we've got a chunk of drivers out there tonight. We must be up over the 30 number. That is awesome to see.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close to that. The overlays are just reloading at the moment because I had to make a couple of little changes, so hopefully we can get them back very soon. But we are going to hop into qualifying right now. So currently at the top of the table, you mentioned him, Matt Jones. He's up there with a 1:37.67 at the moment. Now, the times are pretty well spread from all the drivers who have actually done a lap time. So from top to 19th, which is the last driver to do a lap time. And the times are ranging from a 137.5 to 142.2. So there's a pretty even spread, but I think they're just going to etch closer and closer the longer that this session goes on. As mentioned, I will try and get the overlays up and running, so then we have everything on screen for everyone at home. That way we're not kind of contesting with anything.
Well, we do have some time here, though. We're already a few minutes into qualifying, so I think race control, I've had a briefing at the start, but look at these times already. 137.67 for Matty Jones. He's got a couple of tenths. Talking to the boys before the start of the race, and they said cold tyres, about in the 140s for the quick guys. So, we should see more guys getting up into the 37s and already looking at a bunch of guys into the 38s as well at the moment. So, just finding their feet. 5 minutes into quali. At least it's not a sprint round this week. It is a standard round, so a 1 hour race coming for you guys tonight. And that means that these guys will get to finish their lap. As long as you cross the start-finish line before that timer ticks over to 15, you can finish that last lap.
That's exactly right, mate. Matt Jones has actually just, bettered his time again. He's done a 37.32, so it's currently a radio show at the moment because there's no actual info on screen. I am trying to fix it. I must apologise to everyone at home for the lack of info on screen at the moment, but we will try and give you as much as we can until that is back up there.
As it stands, the leaderboard is Matty Jones with a 137.32, and he's got about 5 tenths over Michael Carterjar with a 137.87. Then we get to the usual shenanigans we see from these boys. So Michael Carterjar 137.87, Phil Vella 137.88. Adrian Loretti 137.90, David Gallo 137.98. Right, and then we go up maybe a tenth or so to Nick Ryan with a 38.14. And then we start it all again by going up by, hundredths or tenths. These guys have a history of really close qualifying. And I did a bit of test driving out there earlier, Hamish, and yeah, this place, it's fast and it's flowing. When the tyres heat up, there's not many places you have to lift around here. It's full on.
No, and you are on the limit for the whole lap pretty much. It's not a track where, the uphill section should be no lift. That is the kind of pressures that these drivers will be under in terms of, pushing and finding the grip limit.
It's all going to be about the toe. I think once again we've seen the toe be in effect, in other races here at the Glen, and that big long straight. Yeah, look, it's going to be a big advantage. We'll have to see how the leaders play things, because if you can't break free, you want to be that second car on the last lap, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you want to be the one who is getting that toe. It is a massive advantage at this track, in terms of having a lap time advantage. The speed discrepancy down the straight in a toe is absolutely immense. Like it is so wild how much of an effect it can actually have. Now it would be more of a bonus to have a toe if there was no bus stop tonight, but there is the bus stop. But it's going to force drivers to figure out, do they want to make a move into the bus stop or not, because they are going to have quite a nice run up to that corner.
There's no bus stop. No bus stop tonight. We are running the classic boot.
Ooh.
So it's no bus stop. So what it does mean is it's a really high speed braking zone. Right at about the time there's a bump in the track. So you get it wrong, and you might see some of these F3 cars doing wheelies as the nose dips on them as they go over there. So it's going to be quite interesting, and you're going to see the fast guys, the level of commitment coming up to that carousel is going to be crazy.
Oh, it really will. And it's going to be, you can go too wide through there. It's a bit hairy, but it can happen. So, I mean, even on the uphill, you want to kind of just sit right in behind your competitor and not want to go too wide up here. Again, it can be done on a certain line, but it's very tight margins in terms of where you can actually get it done. And yeah, you are correct. No boots, so they will just roll on straight through, and then they'll come down through the carousel. Such a fast corner, even with the bus stop in, and without it, oh, it's going to be even tighter for these drivers to get that line perfect. I mean, it is such a great circuit. I mean, as I said, it is a former street circuit, now permanent race circuit. It used to run through the township of Watkins Glen. And so it has those characteristics of a street circuit mixed in with permanent race circuit. A little bit, I guess you could say, kind of like maybe a bit of like Bathurst, something like that, you know. Or even though that is a country road, it still has some areas where it feels like permanent racetrack, you know,
Now,
at certain sections.
I'm not connecting for SDK, buddy, and there was
Yeah,
something you did last time that fixed that, and also fixed the overlays, I think. So
Yeah,
can't remember what it was.
that's what I'm trying to figure out at the moment. I am going through the absolute headache of not having that on screen, and it is really annoying me at the moment that it's not working. But I'm trying to cover it up as best I can.
Well, to let the people know out there, Jay Dixon has jumped up into the P2 position. He has done a 1:37.81, so 300ths quicker than Michael Cuttajar at the moment. Looks like Phil Vella's gone back into the pits, so 11 minutes to go. We'll be interested to see if he comes back out again. Doug Grandpa Gowan sitting in P8 at the moment. He's also in the pits. Going down and looking at a few of the times, the top 10, outside of that, Nick Ryan in P11 at the moment. And look at, these times are crazy when we look at P7 onwards. So P7's a 1:37.99. Then we've got a 38.03 from Doug Gowans. We've got a 38.12 from Andrew Lydon. We've got a 38.12 from Darren Fahey. We've got a 38.14 from Nick Ryan. Then we go a couple of tenths to Nathan Gardner with a 38.3. Then a 38.43 for Scott Pocock. One of our new drivers, Sean Malloy, with a 38.44, so 100th. Then we go up 900ths to Adam Simpson and Matt Tessiero, who are on 1:38.53 and 1:38.61. Then it's a 38.65 for Brad Hudson. So look, that mid-pack is now compressing like we've seen at the top of the field. In the last season, it's getting crazy, and the battles are just, extending further down the grid, buddy.
Oh, they are just getting closer and closer, and it is amazing how close they actually are. So once again, though, I will try and get everything sorted out so we can have that stuff on screen. Make it a little bit easier for everyone at home to follow along. But yeah, Michael Cuttajar getting dropped down from oh my God, it's only 300ths between him and Dixon for that P2 slot. Yeah, it's uber close right now, Cowie, and I can just see them continuing to stay close and stay, as close as they can together. As best they can.
Interesting here. Darren Fahey maybe trying to get a bit of a toe here. This could be an interesting lap to keep an eye on. How is Darren? He hasn't showed up on the timing board yet. Michael Cuttajar with 2 purple sectors here. He's flying.
Darren is currently on the same lap as Andrew Lydon. They've both done a 38.12.
So Michael Cuttajar has done a 38.24. A 37.84, his best.
Yeah.
Darren Fahey with a 38.12, which I think is pretty. It was his last lap, so he's matched that same lap time. I think he did the lap before, because it was him and Andrew Lydon that were very close. So that is crazy.
Oh, it's insane how consistent some of these drivers can be, and how close the lap times can be in terms of their relative pace to themselves. So doing lap after lap within hundredths of their own lap times, it just proves racing prowess and unbelievable just racecraft about them to be that consistent, and it leads to great racing, but it also leads to them being super competitive and great television in terms of incidents that might happen. So there are so many bonuses to how close the times are and how close these drivers can get to their own lap times. It's a wild amount of reasonings as to why F3s
At
are
the
so fun.
moment, we have to go from down to P13 before we see the first driver that is over a second off the leader. And that's considering that the leader, Matty Jones, he has almost half a second lead on the second place guy, Jay Dixon. So, take Matty Jones out of the equation, then we're dropping down to 18th before, a second separates Jay Dixon and is that S. Brooks? Who's that? That's Steve Brooks. Stephen. Sorry, Stephen?
Yeah. Steve Brooks.
Alright, so there's still a few guys that haven't put times out there. Chris Ansell, one of our new drivers. I think Bruce White haven't put a time down. Greg Johnston, he's out on track at the moment. But I don't know if he's put a time down yet either. But it is the checkered flag has dropped on qualifying, so no one else can start their laps, so we'll keep an eye on the times. Craig Platter with a purple sector in the first sector. Has he increased his position? No. Unable to better his time by a couple of tenths. Danny Matisic is out there at the moment, but he's only got one green sector, so he's not going to better his time. Darren Fahey, can he improve as he goes across the line with a 38.12? No,
that was Stephen Brooks who just crossed the line then.
That was Steve Brooks then.
Fahey's not actually crossing the line.
No, he's slowed down. Looks like, have we got any runners still out there? Luke Johnson still on a lap at the moment. Orange in the first sector though, so maybe he's come out cold. Remembering it generally takes a couple of laps to get these tyres up to temp. And we know, as I was saying before, it's probably 2-3 second difference between cold and hot tyres, so.
Well, it's whether he's actually going to be able to get the lap in, that is the question. He doesn't look to
if
be
he
pushing
cuts the
too
line,
hard.
maybe not. It's all orange sectors here, so I don't think it would improve his time in any case. Out there in YouTube land, guys, please, if you are enjoying the coverage, please give us a like and subscribe. Of course, all of this is thanks to Shannons, our major sponsor for the Formula 3 Nationals here. Also, big thanks to our our round sponsor, Warren & Brown Tools. Of course, the promo department is our safety car tonight. The fastest lap award will be for the fastest lap racecraft and qualifying, so that will go to Matty Jones this week. Also, our other big sponsors out there, Grim Industries, Tempting Sweets, Rare Spares, Warren & Brown, and big thanks for all of those guys on board. All right, they're gritting up, mate, and we get to go live very soon.
Yeah, we do. I am working tirelessly right now to get these overlays working. So I appreciate everyone's patience in trying to get them up. I also appreciate your support with this Cowie and kind of carrying this a little bit at the moment while I try and figure this out, because it is...
All right, buddy, I'll just have to put my eyeballs everywhere, I think. It is a 60-minute race tonight, guys, so 45% fuel for these guys. It's about 20.5 litres. The word is they'll get 13 to 14 laps. That's about 22 minutes. So it looks like we're on for a two-stopper tonight. But of course, the safety car gods change everything. How many safety cars tonight, Hamish? I'll give you the first call.
3.
3. I was going to say 3 myself, buddy. I'm going to go with confidence and say these guys are going to get away with 1.
Oh, is it... Just to confirm, is it 2 or 1 race tonight, Cowie?
It's a single race, mate. Single race, 60 minutes.
Okay.
Do you want to stay with 3 or do you want to change your mind?
No, I'll go to 2. I'll let you claim 3 if you want.
No, I can't jinx it now that I've said 1, buddy.
Okay.
I can't go back and change it now.
All right, I'm going to say 2
He's
then.
got 2. All right, so 1 versus 2 from the boys here in the comm team. Let us know in the chat how many you think we're going to get tonight.
Yeah, let us go. We already have Monty Hines, Reese Goey, Tyson McAvoy in the chat. And all love for Matty Jones at the moment as well, off the boys in the chat.
I'm going to read out the grid quickly for the top tower. Well, I'm not going to be able to because the lights are coming up. We're about to go green. Matty Jones, can he lead the field away? Jay Dixon next to him on the front row. Some movement already. Looks like everyone's got away pretty clean there. We're going to go 5 wide as we come down into T1. But it is Matty Jones that leads the field through. Jay Dixon, Michael Cuttajar, Phil Vella, Adrian Loretti making up your top 5. Doesn't look like any major movement just yet. There's a few passes happening in the back of the pack. And look at this, 2 wide as they come up through the fast sweeper. And this is where you get your line wrong and you're going to have a kiss of death with the wall.
I'm just concentrating on this massive pack because this many cars together could well lead to a whole heap of problems.
Now, no, bravery, cold tyres, under braking. Look at them pushing hard. Oh, there's a couple of cars sweeping a bit wide there, but they'll get away with it. Oh, file in. Having a look at the purple Adam Simpson Fishy Motorsports machine there. Looking awesome with that Piranha on the back. All right. So,
we got to change the lead as well, Cowie. Jay Dixon has gotten past Matty Jones. Oh, there's been a crash. I'll just quickly bring that up on screen if it wants to do it
even
for me.
Sneakovic's at the moment. It's a bit early for the safety car, Stephen. He's already broken something on that car there.
Yeah, he's missing his airbox cover.
Did he cross in front of it? What happened there? Oh, he's still alive. So here it is here. Yeah, something's happened. That car had no aero, but look at this here. Oh,
that was so close.
And Nathan Gardner's had a moment as well, buddy.
Yep.
We might try and see if we can have a look at that move for the lead too when you get a chance as well. Yep. We are back live, are we, at the moment?
No, this is the that's the Gardner crash.
Oh, that's the Gardner crash.
And then
it's just a spin. Looks like he's got away without too much damage there, though. Did I see a bit fall off that car and then reappear?
Yeah, I think it might have been the front.
Dixon.
It might have been the front nose, front wing. So this was the move for the lead.
Well, look at that. So that's lap 1, and we've already seen the toe come into play. So this is a 60-minute race, so we're looking at perhaps a, what are we thinking, a 36, 37 lap race if it stays green completely, and you're just seeing to and fro from the drivers because of that toe. Now, what it does mean is Jay really needs the guys behind to battle. Looks like something's happened to Matty Jones. He's got hung out there because Phil Vella and Michael Cuttajar have gone through. So I think Matty may be just struggling a bit on cold rubber. And it's the Downforce Racing 1-2 of Jay Dixon and Phil Vella that now find themselves up the front of the field.
Yeah, mate, they are pushing ultra hard. Matty has now dropped down, as you mentioned, behind Michael Cuttajar. He's got a couple of kittens in behind him. So this is going to be an intro. Oh, finally, they've come back to life. Thank God.
There we go. Look at that.
Finally. I was so worried. All right, now I can get rid of the ones that I did not need. Because I've got like 3 on screen trying to get them fixed. There we go.
Awesome. Well, look at that.
Very good.
The not DRS train, looks like the Kittens boys there are getting a bit of a run on each other. That's Adrian Loretti and David Gallo there. David Gallo with a great pole lap last week, and then it all come undone for him, unfortunately, at the start of the race. But at the moment, it is our, feature race winner from last week, Jay Dixon, leading the pack. Phil Vella, P2 at the moment. Well, he had 2 P2s last week and leads the championship by 17 points at the moment. But there we see Michael Cuttajar getting through with the toe, and Matty Jones also making a show up along the outside there for the toe. So you can just see that. I think tonight's race, buddy, we're going to see these guys swapping and shuffling the deck every lap we go down that main straight.
Oh, mate, they're going to be wheeling and dealing all across the field. I've just noticed Calvin Hodgkinson has not actually had his driving details added, so we are going to hope and pray that me fixing this will not crash the SDK overlays again. So everyone at home needs to have their fingers crossed that me fixing this to have it correct will not do what it did last time. So let's just hope this works. It's worked. We're good. All right.
Oh, hey.
Oh, very good. Okay. somewhat happy
Oh,
about that now.
well, it's all up there. This is a big field of cars here tonight, guys. We've got 31 cars out on track. That is an awesome turnout here for the Shannons Formula 3 Nationals. It's awesome to have Shannons on board, and the new logo there, buddy, it looks awesome.
Oh, no!
Oh, it's
It's fine, we have backups.
Oh, there we go, we're up.
We have backups. I fixed it.
Right.
It's fine.
It's okay, you've got to work. Oh, did you plan that as right as I was saying it?
No, I did not.
Oh, couldn't have asked for better comedic timing there at all, buddy. Well done. Look at this, 3 wide, 2 by 2. It's almost a combat formation, you know, where it's 2 in front staggered. Look
like
at them battling hard here. Matty Jones, David Gallo, Doug Gowan's in the middle of this as well. So Doug's got an awesome launch down the pit. I think Matty's maybe fallen back here a little bit because
he's just dropping off.
So perhaps maybe doing a bit of fuel saving. That's interesting here, going for that extra lap early on.
Oh, look
I'm
at the
thinking-
run down the straight though. Doesn't want to get it
they
done.
touch a little.
And look at Gallo. He wants to get past him as best he can. Now, one of the big areas these drivers are going to have to be careful of, especially in these open wheelers, is the bump around this corner. It's right on the apex. You catch a wheel or you catch the throttle way too early, that rear end is just going to sing its way around and go straight in the wall if you forget to hold your brakes. So it's one of those big danger spots around this track. Now, we don't have the other major danger zone out of the bus stop, being that it's not a part of this layout. But there are still areas where we could see some action, especially up the hill where these guys are approaching to.
What it means, man, is that you see them carrying high speed over that bump. So you get the bump. If you miss the bus stop, there's a bump there right at the crest. And if you get that wrong, the car could go sailing and you can have no control. But I'm thinking here, my new teammate, old new teammate, Matty Jones here, he's really trying to save a bit of fuel here, get an extra lap or two in this stint. I think he's maybe trusting his pace and saving a bit of fuel. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out, buddy.
So just so everyone at home knows what the go is, the gold numbers mean they are a pro driver, the blue means they are an amateur. So we will cut to and from the group's settings so you can see where they are in comparison to their fellow classes of driver. But we will try and keep it on overall, as the overall is what matters in terms of championship standings.
Yeah, and have a look at that so far. So it's Andrew Lyden, our leading amateur at the moment. He's running P8 in the race outright. Adam Simpson behind him running second AM and 9th on track. He's up 6 positions at the moment, so he's one of our big movers. Looking at the field, we've got is that Nathan Verney is up 7 positions from 23rd. He's running currently in 16th at the moment. So having a good fist of it out there, Nathan Verney. And the other one is Bruce White, who started right at the back of the grid. He's up 10 positions into P21 at the moment.
Brooks is dropping
Who's
massively.
tumbling down the brights? Steve Brooks has had a moment. He's tumbling down the order. Is that...
So it's at
Let's
the
have a
final
look and
corner.
see what's happening here.
Oh,
He's
he's
just
caught the
lost the
grass.
rear. He's done well to keep it out of the wall there
That
and keep it
was
mostly
so
straight.
close.
Oh, I hope he didn't hurt his wing there. I think he might have got away with that. That's a pretty good save there, Steve. Still alive, and also, who's that? Bradley Hudson deciding to emulate. So that is showing me that the racing is so close out here. These boys are having to push. You know, and we're inside the first 10 minutes of this race.
Oh, Mitch McIntyre
Oh,
just get a bit overzealous there.
Looks like Mitch is already a few laps down, so has, joined the race session late. I think he was in for quali and he's missed the start there with a computer issue. Unfortunate, but okay, Matty Jones currently running P4. He's about a second or so behind the leading 3, and they've swapped, by the looks of it. Michael Cuttajar's got in front of Jay Dixon now. But again, we're seeing... Oh, Steve Brooks with a request to tow. I think we might be seeing our first visit for the promo safety car here.
Promo department safety car possibly coming on track. This is why. Oh, and as mentioned, one of the dangerous spots, the top of the hill.
I wonder if he damaged his front wing there.
Yep.
When he sort of tried to get going there on the front, and then it's just gone on him there. So
Very well
it is
could have.
safety car has been called. So looks like I've got a knock on wood already, buddy. One safety car for tonight, so I was trusting to these boys. This is a fast-flowing track, and I know that these guys love this place. Definitely one of the big favourites for these cars, for these drivers. Reason it was their driver's choice. But yeah, I suppose, man, fast sections, close running metal walls, and lots of places where there's no tyre barriers, and a car that brakes when you look at it funny.
Yeah, I think I think you're right, Kelly. I mean, it's that's kind of why I said originally 3 and then kind of changed to 2. Was it's a tight track in terms of how close the walls are, but it's also a track that can be very loose when you're on tyres. It shouldn't be stuck on Matty Reese.
That's not anymore. It might have been there for a little bit. I think. I think it was at the end of quali, or was in the middle of quali. But we've hopefully got all of that sort. All of the overlays are looking absolutely awesome up there, buddy. The track map, everything. So we're just going to have a nice little reset here. The promo department calm down safety car. Now, because that was some pretty awesome battles, but what we're seeing already is just the big impetus of that toe. Now, I doubt it you're going to see any of the front runners pit at the moment. It's still too early into this race. It may be interesting to see if anyone takes a little dive into just to throw themselves off strategy, and maybe see if they can shuffle the deck.
Yeah, I think, oh, didn't mean to click scenic there, sorry. We'll go TV static for a little bit here. So, yeah, I'm looking at the stream. It was on Phil Vella, but it shouldn't have been stuck on Matty. I mean, we've been changing to and from drivers a lot. So, unless you
hopefully I hope everything's ironed out now, buddy. I think
Yeah.
it looks pretty good from what I can see here now.
So the drivers should be coming up onto the back of the promo department's safety car. He should be on the back straight. He is. There it is there.
Right, and at the moment, our leaderboard as it currently stands is Phil Vella for Downforce Racing. He leads Michael Carter, one of our privateers, Jay Dixon for Downforce Racing P3, Matty Jones for Performance Sim Racing, David Gallo, and then Adrian Letty, a couple of the Kittens Racing boys, Doug Grandpa Gowans. Velocity Sim Racing, I'm pretty sure Doug is. And then we've got Andrew Lyon, another one of the Kittens. Adam Simpson for Fishy Motorsports. And one of our new drivers, Sean Malloy Esquire. Sean, have we got your details in SDK? Do you want to click on to Sean? See if it comes up. We've got his team. Downforce Racing. Awesome to have you here, Sean. So that is our top 10. It's the calm before the storm, buddy. And now, are you wishing you maybe went for 3 safety cars rather than 2?
Maybe not. I think I'm in a better position than what you are at the moment, because I don't think we're only going to have one.
I don't know if that really needed mentioning. I've got faith in the boys here. They're going to have a good night of racing, aren't they?
I got faith in them, but with a mixture of abilities out there, anything can happen. You can get drivers who might be a little bit sort of too impatient when wanting to get moves done, especially if they're on a lower class or if they're on a lapped car as well. So those sorts of things can definitely lead to some moments. I mean, we even saw it was the pro drivers who actually caused the incident on lap 1, turn 1 at Silverstone, because they were, rearing and ready to go, and it, a little bit of brain fade, and it just led to a massive incident. So
the problem with these cars, buddy, is because when the tyres are up to temp and you're that on the edge, it only takes a tiny little mistake to turn it into a whopping big F up, I suppose. You know, and again, a car that, you know, hits the wall, especially where there's no tyre wall. It doesn't matter if there's a tyre wall, it's still going to break something. But if it's going to hit a metal railing, it's probably not going to survive. So, but I'm looking forward to this. Looks like race control giving a few waiver rounds there, so that will give a couple of these guys a chance to get back onto the lead lap. So that's Steve Brooks, Mitch McIntyre. I think Darren Fay was one of those guys there as well that is able to get past and try and get back onto the back.
Couple of drivers.
So we got
in
a
the pits
few
as
guys.
well.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Is that Craig Platter, Cameron O'Brien, Matt Tessier,
Yep.
Tess Oriero.
Yeah, Tessariero.
Matt, you got to let us know in the chat, Matt, how to pronounce your name. Or like Danny Matesick. No. We can, I can keep butchering your name, buddy. And Danny, just had to throw that in there for you, buddy. Nostalgia.
I mean, there's
I'm
no
pretty
Scott
sure.
Barton out there tonight either, so...
Yeah, true. Scotty's not out there too. Unfortunately, unable to commit to this season, I think he said last week. Same with Robbie Griffiths from Fishy Motorsports.
Yep.
Unfortunately, had to focus on, you know, well, it's hard to do more than one night of racing, and then you try to do multiple nights, it's hard to do more than one car as well. So I pretty much stick to the V8 supercar myself.
He's also
do a
made
couple
the
of
move
nights,
up to the Tess or Rero. Yep.
That's the 3.5 you were saying too.
Yeah.
So
He's moved up. Sorry, I was
that's
reading
another league as well.
Someone commented how to actually pronounce the name apparently. So Tess
Matt
or
Tessa
Rero.
Oriro.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that'll probably only take me about a year to get right. So, but thank you very much for that, driving me sane. Nice name there.
But yeah, so yeah, Robbie has committed to moving up to do the Formula 3.5 from the Formula 3, and he's also Tessa Rero. Okay, now he's just making jokes.
God, here we go.
Yeah. So Robbie's not only focusing on the Formula 3.5s now, but he's also moved up into Split 1 of V8 Veterans. So he's also focusing on that heavily, wanting to improve his supercars prowess. So that's kind
awesome.
of why he's moved away from the league a little bit. So
Yeah, all those fishy boys are pretty quick. There's quite a few quick guys in there. So that's good to see, you know, and then it's good to see, you know, things happen in reverse. Matty coming back to us because he's enjoying the mateship and the driving, you know. So, you know, look, one of the great things about sim racing is that, you know, it does appeal to multiple levels. Like, I'm an armchair athlete for sure. I've, you know, I don't think I've driven anything really fast in my life. I've got one of those track days coming up pretty soon that I can go out and try it out for real. But and absolutely looking forward to that. Thanks to my brother and his wife and family for that. But yeah, look, you know, I always say to myself, you know, if I'm within 2 or 3 seconds of the really quick guys, I'm pretty happy there, because some of them are the, you know, Shane Van Gisbergens and Brody Kostecki's of the world, and they're doing it for real. Yeah. All right, here we go. It looks like he's gone early. Phil Vella hasn't stuffed around there. Probably a good call from Phil, really, because you tried to bunch up a 31-car field in the last turn. That might have been a recipe for disaster. So he's gone straight away. Again, that these guys would have been saving fuel, so I reckon our fuel windows maybe been thrown out of whack there. What do you reckon? That was about 7 or 8 minutes under safety car there?
Yeah, it was about 7 or 8 minutes, I think it was. I think you asked me the question if I felt a little bit obliged to change my answer, but not really from 2. But look at Katajar here going for the move down the straight. I think that was around about 13 and a half minutes into the race. So you asked me that question. So yeah, I'd say about 7 or 8 minutes of safety car. So Katajar has gotten it done though, down the inside at the corner. So he now leads proceedings from Phil Vella to Jay Dixon to Matt Jones to David Gallo. That is the top 5. The top 7 cars of this race is fielded by pro drivers at the moment, and then it's 2 AMs in Andrew Lydon and Adam Simpson, and then we have Sean Malloy making up the top 10. So 2 amateurs in the 10 at the moment, Cowie, and there's really no way that there's going to be all pro drivers in the top 10 at this stage.
Was that
since,
Matty Jones making a move up the inside there, was it?
Yep.
But Jay Dixon will have the inside for the next turn there. So, again, Matty may be back with his foot heavy on the throttle again, that safety car. Slowing everything up, but I'm pretty sure he was saving fuel there for a bit. I'll have to ask him later, or perhaps tonight if he gets it on the podium. Of course, still 40 minutes of this motor race to go, so plenty can happen in the F3s. We know he didn't have the best of rounds last week.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him actually to change his SDK info so his team name is actually correct for next time out.
We only just officially joined the team yesterday, so It looked like we might have something to say for our team boss and race controller Tyson McAvoy, and you know, maybe he's got to wear two hats and sort that stuff out, eh? I think he's watching the stream tonight and sitting at home enjoying the State of Origin as well, which I'll catch up to after this.
We'll bring up some sectors at the moment just so everyone can kind of compare at home, you know, how these guys are lapping at the moment. Gallo has actually got purple sectors, so I think he might actually have the fastest first and second sector of the race. Must have happened earlier on in the race, though. I'm not sure why it's actually telling me purple now. Michael Cuttajar actually set the fastest lap of the race last time by a 1:37.72 was his last lap. That was the fastest of the race so far. I believe it was actually faster than his qualifying time. So that toe really coming in handy for his lap times at the moment, Cowie.
Well, again, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So before we thought, you know, 22, 23 minutes was the fuel window. So that was definitely going to be a two-stopper. Now, we've got an extra 6 or 7 minutes in here. So that now gets them to 30. Do you start saving aggressively and try and find an extra lap there? I reckon we're just slightly outside that window. I think if your prediction comes true with a second safety car, then that, you know, will definitely bring it to, you know, a one-stop opportunity. But that depends when it happens. So there's still a fair bit to play for out here, and the guys again playing games under the toe. It's just really, you're that much faster by the looks of it, isn't it? It's almost like the Red Bull with their fancy DRS, isn't it? Oh, moment there, Danny Matisic into the wall.
And he did jump to pits, so will we have another safety car? And I believe...
I don't know, do we hear anything out on the radio?
I believe that we do. Oh no, that's Greg Johnson. Where is Barbs? He's not on track, so...
Can't see the safety car out there. So I don't know if Danny may be towed without calling on race control, which is a big no-no. Is this a moment here for Callan Hodgkinson? Oh, he's gone in hard there. He held the brakes. Oh no, and Brad Hudson. And now it is safety car number 2. So already 23 minutes into this race, and safety cars breed safety cars, and my prediction is out the window.
So I kind of now just have to hope and pray that the final half an hour of this race. Oh, look at that! Yeah, that will that'll be why that occurred. Oh, look at that car of Callan Hodgson though. That thing is now just a Formula Ford, pretty much. So. We'll head back to live. A heap of drivers jumping into the pits as well. Look at this.
Everyone pitting now. So, yep. The entire field's going to come in. Does anyone stayed out?
Yes, so a couple of the other drivers.
There's a few though.
Who pit during the last pit stop. Not the last pit stop, but the last safety car. Have stayed out on track. So, Nathan Gardner, Nathan Verney, Chris Ansell, Bruce White, Craig Platter, Matt Tessariero, Darren Fahey, all those guys stayed out on track. Same with Steve Singovich, who did on lap 2, so he will need to come in again, you would suspect.
Yeah, Stephen Hasn't come in, yes. But this is what I was talking about before. I thought there might be a few guys that, throw the dice a little there and see how it plays out. And well, wow. Look at Nathan Verney up 11 spots. Oh, sorry, Nathan Garner up 11 spots. Nathan Verney up 21 spots. Chris Ansell up 30 spots. So I think that's 28 actually with race control.
Yeah.
Bruce White up 27 spots. Craig Platter up 13. Matt Tessiero up 10 spots. So, yeah. Greg Johnson up 19. So I think, did Greg pit on this lap on...
He pit on lap 5. He's actually at
lap
6.
So I think Greg might have pitted under the race conditions.
Yeah.
So perhaps for damage there. These guys will have, I think it's only one fast repair for tonight's race. So there will be a few of them on wood as well. They'll have to take it a bit easier around here. But yeah, that has shuffled the order. And our front runners now find themselves mid-pack. And it's a whole different race when you're mid-pack with a bunch of AM guys in front of you.
Reese the Ghost saying Callan is doing awesome in V8Ms. It's amazing, Reese, how much pace he's actually gained. I even mentioned it last season, how much he's actually gained in a supercar. Especially when he claimed his first win last season. He just somehow then, it kind of catalyzed him towards a run of really, really good performances. Now, I hope that he's able to kind of come back and actually, take advantage of that and get some more good performances under his belt. So, obviously we hope for him to kind of find that pace again and become competitive. He was actually a little bit competitive even in the TCRs after he got his first win in supercars. So, it's kind of one of those things that maybe the break has kind of led to him losing a little bit.
In the end, I thought Nathan was going to come into the pits then.
Maybe
he was trying the line there, but he didn't.
Maybe he was trying to bait the people in behind him.
Maybe a little bait. Yeah, no one falling for that, I think. Oh, no. Chris Ansell went in. Craig Platter went in. So,
those
that's
guys
interesting.
Needed to pit again, though. They pit early in the race, so they were going to need a pit stop anyway.
Probably should have pitted the lap before because that's going to tumble them down the order. The problem is delaying that pit stop by one lap means you're pitting when the entire field's bunched up. And race control closes the exit until the entire field's gone through.
Yep.
So that's going to cost them big time.
So
well,
it is yet another reset, Cow. We've only done 14 laps in 28 minutes pretty much of this race. So we're only on the 14th lap now. It is, it's not looking like we're going to hit the 37 lap mark in this one, but it's already turning out to be quite an interesting race and quite interesting in terms of where people might be positioned to take advantage of this safety car. Now, Verney and Fahey, those guys will need to pit again. Katajar is the provisional race leader at the moment because he is the top of the people who have pit to make it home.
I disagree, buddy. I don't think they're going to make it home. Look, at the moment, like a full stint is 22, 23 minutes. We've got 32 minutes. So I think the whole field has to pit again. You're going to see some guys will have a bit shorter fuel window than the other guys. But, if Nathan Garner, Nathan Verney, Bruce White, Matt Tessiero, and Darren Fahey can all take advantage of that clean air and maybe tow each other, they get a second or two on the guys behind them. That may well make the difference in that fuel stop. So, this is an opportunity for the AM guys to really, show up the pros. It's also an opportunity for the pros to show us how good they really are in these cars. Because not only are they battling each other now, but they've got 5 or 6 AM drivers in front of them as well.
Yeah, I think this is going to kind of... It's going to be interesting for sure, Cowie. I mean, it was always probably going to be a 2-stop race, but it's where these guys are actually in the position now. So Nathan Gardner pit on lap 1. He definitely has to do 2 more laps of this race. 2 more pit stops. Sorry, of this in this
One
race.
more stop from now, yeah. Oh,
Um,
sorry, he's still out on track.
Yeah,
is he,
he's
Nate?
still out on track.
Garner?
Yeah, Nathan
Okay.
Gardner. So he pit on lap 1. So he will definitely need another stop. The safety car has pulled away. We will get ready to go racing again. So so he pit on lap 1. Nathan Verney pit on lap 6.
Yeah, Bernie White, Tessiero, and Fahey are the 4 that, rolled the dice on that first safety car.
Yeah.
And, we'll have to see if it works. At the moment, it's done at the treat. And, if we see another safety car, say within 5 minutes, say outside of the next 5 minutes, so with 25 to go, then these guys could pit and probably get home. So, we'll see how we go. We're on 2, buddy. You're on 2, so you don't want to see another promo department visit.
No, not for the not for the wager, but I think for the good television it provides, it would be nice. But we are back and racing once again. Gardner has led them away. He went slightly early, kind of went on the entry into the final corner. And as they come up the hill now, it's going to be whether these guys can weather the storm. Look at White putting the pressure on Verney down the straight. This is an AM versus a pro driver at the moment. Can he get the move done? He has got it done before the bus stop. And then they come through the massive carousel.
Hang on a second, buddy. Safety car breach there, just called by race control. I think it was just a black and white flag. I think it was it Cameron. Let me have a look. It was Cameron O'Brien, I think, so we might have to find Cameron has to yield a position back up. Race control just heard them on the radio there. On board with Cameron at the moment.
Oh, that's been a big crash. David Gallo and Steve Sinkovich.
More contact. Oh, Stephen's been spun. And he's in the middle.
I would say that's going to be another safety car.
You called for another safety car, buddy. Here it comes. That's got 3 or 4 cars involved in that. And there are bits of broken race car all over the track. Oh, we didn't even get 1 lap in, buddy, and the promo department safety car is back out there. So a few of these guys trying to take advantage with that close, compact.
So as well, Gardner.
Looks like safety car just got ahead of the field. I think the Bruce and Nathan Verney just got ahead there. So is that Nathan Gardner did come in and pit then?
Yep.
That might not be a bad call for Nathan because he had to pit.
Yep.
But he's gone back to 22nd, I think, at the moment as he's come out. So it has cost him a bunch of positions. But he couldn't really pit under the safety car. It would have put him right to the back. So he's minimised the damage, I suppose. And Bruce White, one of my buddies up here in Queensland, helped me with my rig and stuff, finds himself out in front. He'll have flashbacks, though, of a couple of seasons ago when he led the field away behind the safety car and got it wrong. So hopefully Bruce doesn't have a moment like that again.
Why do you have to commentator curse everyone, Cowie? Especially your friends.
Oh, I know. Well, they do it to me, so... who are you? You're an Aussie. As far as Australians go, and I haven't really travelled overseas, but I've got friends that have. And the thing that separates us from, maybe us and Kiwis, I suppose, from the rest of the world, except for maybe Canadians, is we use insults as a form of greeting and endearment.
Yeah, I'd say, probably Canadians, Kiwis and Australians. It's probably pretty spot on, actually.
Oh, so that's an interesting call. Bruce White, and they're coming in. So this is probably going to start to bring maybe those guys that hadn't stopped before, lap 13. Is there now an opportunity to save and maybe get home, especially if we sit under safety car for another lap or 2?
So I guess the question that has to be asked is, once we hit 38 minutes, that would be a stint length from there to the checkered flag. So that would be 22 minutes to the end. So if people were to pit there, they could make it home. Now, how much fuel they can save under the safety car in the next sort of 3 or
Oh.
so minutes, that's going to be the real telltale of if
I-
they can
I'm-
make it home from here.
I'm thinking this could finish as a fuel race for some of these guys here. So that is going to make it really spicy. We're going to see the leaders trying to save every drop where they can just so they can get home. And you've got fast AM guys that have got nothing to lose. We could be seeing an awesome finish to tonight's normal round race. Look, I'm looking forward to this. Oh, Darren Fahey for Kittens Racing finds himself in the P1 hot seat. And Matt Tessiero, both Darren and Matt, the two guys that rolled the dice, pitted on that first safety car. And now safety car number 3 is in front of them with no one else.
I would say these guys will need to pit again, though. I mean, it has been sort of 10 or so laps since they came
these
in.
guys I'm surprised they didn't come in, actually.
Yeah.
But maybe didn't get enough clear air to do it. So the issue behind becomes, can the Michael Carter-Jars, Phil Vella, Adrian Loretti, Matty Jones, can they get home?
That is the major question at the moment. I mean, they only came into the pits 5 laps ago. Now, 5 laps ago, that was 2 safety cars ago.
Yeah, half a quick lap. Half a
that-
quick lap. That's what we're talking about here.
That was on the first safety car. We've already had 3. So, you know,
No, they came in on the second one. The second
they?
one. So, yeah. So the first one was about that lap 6-7, which we're talking for Darren Fahey. Matt Tessiero, I think was lap.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
so Darren was before that.
Yeah.
I think it was lap 9, and then it came out again on lap 13 where we
Yeah.
saw all these guys pitting.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and now this one's out lap 16, so we've gone 3 laps. Well, sorry, we've gone, 9 laps, then 4 laps, then 3 laps.
Yeah.
So the distance between the safety cars, the number of laps between them, has now narrowed to half a lap. So I don't know if we're going to beat that anymore.
And the safety car has pulled away, though, so we will be getting ready to go racing once again.
Oh, look, Fahey has gone straight away, and he's caught the field napping.
That was a great run from him. Cam Cuttajar get past Matt.
Have they all gone a bit too early? Race control us on the saying that the race start will be under review, because these guys, I think they took off before race control, had said he was in the pits and clear, and it was in hands of Stephen Sigovich just on the radio saying there that he's called out an incident for what happened to him, that massive 4 or 5 car crash that happened there. Michael Carter-Jar getting through on Matt Tessiero. And, yeah, Matt, 20th the second, you're right. It's a great job at the moment. He will need to pit again. What he needs to do is try and force these guys here to pit again. The last thing he wants to see is another safety car, because if we see another safety car, I think that means that our front runner pro drivers will have enough fuel to get home.
Darren Fahey pit on lap 6, though, so he's in the same boat as
He's got to pit. Yeah, he has to pit. So both Darren and Matt will need to pit. They're not going to make it home.
I think Nathan Verney's in a bit of a hot seat right now. He pit on lap 16. So, and he's back in P7 at the moment. So if these guys do need to pit ahead of him,
Or
and
to
I mean
fuel.
all of them, if all of them need to pit again, he's going to be in the hot seat to take victory, because he won't need to pit again by this point.
Not
because
just
of the
that,
fuel
buddy.
savings.
If these guys need to save, then Nathan's going to be the closest. So lap 17, we're in our 19, and we're inside that 22 minutes that we talked about. So we were probably inside it last lap. So yeah, Nathan Verney could have played the master strategy. I know we had another moment from Chris Ansell, have we? He's got this car fixed and repaired, and it's just cold tyres and a snap oversteer catching him. He's kept it out of the wall. No. I think he's got away with... Oh, he's teleported to pits, has he?
It doesn't say that he actually towed, but he may have. Unsure of that one.
Well, again, one of the things we do have in enforcement here for race control is that you do need to hold your crash position and call for request the tow if you do need to, so there may well be some post-race penalties coming down for those sort of things. But at the moment, Darren Fay, he's got clean air out in front. At the moment, Michael Cartajar taking advantage of the tow Darren's giving, and he's extending his lead over Matt Tessierro to about 1.5 seconds now, and Phil Vella closing in on Matt behind, and he's got a pack behind him of 3 cars. Oh no, something's happened. Cameron O'Brien with a moment.
So this is where we saw the massive
And
accident
he's just
happen
run a
before.
bit wide, it's all grass. And he's lost the front wing, and that's a broken car, and that is going to probably bring out the safety car again, buddy. And that will definitely mean some of these guys going to get home.
So I don't see a safety car out on track at the moment, although he is planted there where he had an incident. So
Okay,
he's
no,
actually moving.
so race control is going to let it slide, saying he can tow. So they're going to keep things green out there for the moment. Perhaps the promo department safety car driver getting a little bit tired.
Maybe needing to maybe use the restroom or something.
Matty Jones making a move up alongside Phil Vella there in the background of the shot. Have a look back at that battle for P3, P4, P5. Look at this. As
So he got
So
past
Phil Bella's-
Adrian Loretti. There's Phil Bella just ahead of him.
yeah, well, Matty was just up alongside Phil Vella there, so closing back in for another move. He's now decided to show his pace. Perhaps now is the point. Matty knows that he can get home.
Drive-through
Or
penalty
can't
for
get-
Darren Fahey
Oh no.
for the safety car restart procedure. So he did go too early. And I guess that's fair because you can't really give a penalty to the guys in behind him because well, they're going to go once he goes, you know?
Yeah, I think in the rule book it's, you know, you need to wait for the safety car to return to the pit lane, and then control of the field will be handed over.
So that is very interesting and puts kind of a interesting sort of end to this race and this discussion of, well, he's going to have to come into the pits for a drive-through. He's then probably
And
going
then
to
he's
come
gonna
into
have
the
to pit.
pits for fuel. So this is
Yeah.
now really going to take him out of contention completely, unless there is another safety car. Now, I'm going to assume that the race control decided not to bring out the safety car once again at that stage because there had just been 2 in a row. But I feel like you'd be a little bit annoyed if you made the prediction that there would be 4 and there's the opportunity of having a 4th and then the race control's like, no, we're not going to do it. Sorry.
Oh, I don't think our prediction is going to really make that much of a difference to the world of sim racing.
No.
But what it may have done is the guys that got caught napping by him jumping so early, it might have bunched the field back up again there. But nice move from Matty Jones on Phil Vella. Getting past, he's been threatening that for the last couple of laps. Just getting it done in the carousel again, all about the tow there. And that's one great thing about racing here at this track and these cars, is you really can't, you know, as long as they're running in a battle here, you can't take any position for granted because that tow is only a lap away. And we can see already here, is this Phil Vella already back on the back of Matty Jones, so...
Matty now, actually, this would probably put him in a provisional P2 because Tessierro... Oh, has he just had a big spin? I was about to talk about him, but...
He's contacted the wall, he's
hit the
quickly
bump.
tried to get out of the way there. Is that car going to be broken? Can it re-go, buddy? Let's go back and have a look at Matty. Can he get that car going again, or is it going to be safety car number 4?
So I was about to mention him, so I don't know if you could actually claim that as commentator's curse because I actually didn't say his name yet when it was happening.
You were thinking it. You were thinking it.
I was going to say
Well,
this.
you're up.
I was going to say this now puts Matt Jones in provisional P2. This now confirms it.
See that there? That was actually fairly smart what he did, and he's wedged himself into the wall, so that is probably going to be a tow.
And you can see his rear wheel's actually off the ground. You see his rear, what would be, or the rear right-hand wheel appears to be off the ground.
Yeah,
as well.
he's
And
caught
he's
in the
also
wall there,
wedged
so he's going to have to
himself.
get on the road.
So
I think he's still a slow car at the moment, so maybe he doesn't have a radio or he's not on there to do a request the tow, but I think that's stuck in the wall. Oh, he's got it going.
And it's
He's
crabbing
trying to get.
massively, though. I reckon he's going to
Yeah,
have to
he
call
can't
for a
turn
tow.
left, so it's going to have to be a request for tow.
Which could mean another safety car, but the way the race control is going, probably not. Because they'll probably claim, oh, no,
Well,
just
we'll
let
see
you
what
go off the track.
happens.
But
To see what happens.
you never know, though. I know sometimes you don't want to have the whole race
Something's
just
happened
with
to Greg
safety
Johnson.
cars. Something's happened to Greg Johnson. Where is he?
An incident at the carousel. Greg Johnson called out there. And his car's broken and out of fuel.
I reckon he's out of fuel. I reckon you're right.
Yeah, he just said it on the radio there. He's out of fuel.
Well,
So he has got his numbers wrong. And there is safety car number 4. So we're going to have a grandstand finish as it bunches everyone up. And these guys are going to need to pit. So Nathan Verney has done awesome to get up 18 positions to find himself in P5. But he's not going to get that final little jump where these guys have to pit to get home. I think even the guys that pitted lap 13, they're going to have enough fuel to get home now. Darren Fahey, is that his... Did he actually stop then, Darren?
That was his drive-through.
No, that was his... he pitted.
No,
So instead of doing a drive-through...
His pit lap was still lap 6. That was his
Yeah.
drive-through. So he
yeah, no,
served his
so what he's
drive-through.
done... yeah, but what happens in iRacing, if you get a drive-through penalty and you pull into the pits, it'll add 40 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I think looking at his stop time of 46 seconds, I think that's what's happened. So
Yeah.
he will be back out and he won't have to come in again, though he does find himself back in P11.
He will need to
After
come in
that.
there for a pit stop, though, to actually fill
No.
the fuel.
I think you can come in and fill, but because you didn't serve the drive-through, it adds 40 seconds.
No, but he
I
needs the
think.
fuel.
Yeah, but he would have been able to put fuel in the car. So instead of doing a drive-through, he came into his pit bay and stopped, put fuel in, and then iRacing has given him an extra 40 seconds hold instead of the drive-through.
This
I'm thinking.
is how we check it. We watch his pit lane travel. to
Yeah,
see what he
you
did.
don't. Come on, it's supposed to be speculation and let the wise YouTubers out there let us know what they saw.
I know, but we have the information at our fingertips to be able to see what he actually did. So it appears that he just served a drive-through. Does he stop?
A long pit row here. Yeah, it looks like he's just
He
served
doesn't,
it. You're
he
right.
just did the drive-through.
Okay, there you go.
So I would say
Stand
then,
corrected.
and I think he's just come in again to actually. Oh no, he's pulled over. He's running out of fuel.
Oh no.
So he's actually just run out of fuel. So because he actually didn't serve the pit stop, he's run out of fuel. So Matt Jones, Nick Ryan, these guys are in the pits. They'll need fuel. Now remember, Matt Jones came in on lap 12 with Michael Cuttajar. The people who are in the major position right now to make it home on the current fuel numbers that they have is Nathan Verney and Bruce White. These guys.
Matty
pit
Jones has
on
come
lap
into the
16.
pit, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those guys.
but
So
Michael hasn't, Phil hasn't,
no,
Jay hasn't,
no. So what is now going to
Adrian Lurdy hasn't. Maybe they think they can get home. Is Matty too tight? I don't know.
What this is going to entail is the top 3. If they need fuel, they're going to have to come in. Nathan Verney is then going to have a miracle run of going up 22 positions in this race and will lead the race if these guys have to come in. He can make it home. He came in on lap 16. He's fine.
These guys are they're trying to get home, so they're going to play that.
Yeah, they
Michael.
can't afford to pit. They cannot afford to come into the pits. This safety car could have possibly saved them and their race. But, Fahey just went that little bit too long on his tank of fuel. He should have just come in and pitted and then come and done the drive-through after the safety car. Right? That's what he should have done. He shouldn't have done the drive-through first.
I'm thinking it's extremely marginal. The fact that Matty came in, and he's pretty cluey when it comes to his fuels, he's come in and the rest of the field that were pitted at the same time as him didn't, tells me either he's a lead foot and he uses more gas than everyone else. It's probably right.
Yeah.
Or you know, it's really marginal. So these guys here roll dice maybe a little.
I would
So if
also,
that's the case, they only is in the box seat, as you said.
yeah. And one thing to remember as well is this will likely be our last safety car of the race. I doubt they're going to call a fifth one in the last 10 minutes. They definitely won't call one if there's 5 minutes to go. So I think, I think race control will just look at it and be like, yeah, we've had 4 safety cars. We're not going to call another one. We're just going to let them race to the end. So I would predict we're going to have probably about 8 or 9 minutes of uninterrupted
in the
racing.
rear there, there was contact in the rear. Nick Ryan. There's a Matty Jones just got hit. Oh, lost a rear wing now. Matty, if he doesn't have a fast repair left, or if he used it for a little bit of superficial damage, because he's going to have to pit again now with no rear wing.
And he is going to be absolutely distraught with that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be distraught. It's going to be an interesting chat with him. Chat a bit later. I think he might be the other end of the spectrum. I'm thinking
that was
tonight.
that was the PG terminology. He's going to be pretty effed off with that one, I would say. And I predict that whoever hit him is going to likely get a penalty because of that. Because
I think he said it was Callan Hodgkinson was the car there at fault there. But Matty, he's going to have to pit. He's pitting now, so maybe he does have...
I don't know if it was Callan. I think it might have been somebody else. It might have been...
Danny Matsich coming into the pits as well there, so...
Yeah. And Matt is pulling in. So does he have a fast repair, or is this race over for him? He does have a fast repair.
Does. There you go.
So incredible. He's got to wait.
Yep. Well, he's got to wait for pit road to be opened. It will throw him right to the back of the field, but he will have a fast car to finish.
So a race to forget, unfortunately, for him on his return to performance sim racing, but he will, well, hopefully be able to just make up a couple of spots. Maybe a couple of people run out of fuel before the end of the race, and he's just able to poach a couple of different positions. But P17 at the moment.
Look at these guys here, like the safety car speeds up, they're clutching. They're trying to save every drop. Now, the fact that the safety cars run long now, we're now down to inside the final 8 minutes of this race. And the safety car will be pulling away, I think, at the end of this lap. So, is that just giving these guys the window to get home?
Maybe. Could very possibly, could very well have done that. I think it's I don't know if race control would know, though, the kind of fuel numbers that these guys are currently running. But I guess the one thing to remember now is as well, the top 3 are going to need to fuel conserve, right, until the end. Vernie can push as much as he wants. So
well, we'll have to see if these guys do need to fuel save. Perhaps there's been enough laps under the safety car now that they can't get home. I suppose we're not far from finding out the answer to these questions, buddy. We've only got 7 minutes of this motor race to go now. And are we around the last corner? No, coming up.
We're coming up. We're at the bottom of the boot.
He's accelerating away, yep. So coming out of the boot. And so it will be back in the hands of Michael Carterjar. Now, Michael's one of those guys, he doesn't race with the headset. Hasn't got a microphone, he keeps telling us. So it's one of those guys I don't think I've ever had a chat to Michael here in the commentary or on the racetrack. But let's see how he plays this. Field starting to bunch up behind him. Race control is... Yeah, Matty's right at the back, so he's thinking that they're all stretching out a fair bit. But there was the concertina that before there that caused, his incident. So, and race control did come on and say they're reviewing the whole thing, so they don't know if they can, outright blame Callan for the contact if everyone else was checking up.
And Carterjar goes.
He's gone straight away there, last corner. That's the way I'd play it. You just got to focus on your race. Let's see if these boys
really well.
Yeah. Read it beautifully. Adrian Loretti read it well as well. Nathan Verney probably got caught a little bit out there by the looks of it. Not quite up to it, but let's go on board and have a look, a listen, and see if he's lifting coming up into the carousel, buddy.
Yeah, we'll go on the Warren Brown cockpit cam. Yeah, that's lift. That's for sure lift. He just let Phil go.
No, Phil's got the draft.
Yeah, but he knows he knows he had the draft, right? So he's pulled out. He's lifted just to let him go because he wants to save that fuel. He's not trying to push the drag race.
I don't know if I heard any lift there.
He didn't get all the way to the red line on the sixth gear. He was only on the first two dots.
Yeah, I don't know if it can get right to the full rev limit.
Or maybe a little bit of clutch in midway through corner just to get it turned in.
Way that these cars drive sometimes too, when you get the rear to sort of snap and the front turns in, the rear snaps around. There's no lift there.
As they make their way through the final corner.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any lift there. I think these boys can fight hard to the end, which I'm sure Nathan Burney's not happy about, but he's got to be happy with a 17 positions in the race, and at the moment, probably it's between him and Bruce White for my driver of the day at the moment.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that claim, Cowie.
Wayne Edwards, who's that? Wayne Edwards. He's held it nicely. It's throws him right to the back. Matty Jones is already up about 4 or 5 positions on the restart, up into P14 now. So he's recovering, and here is Michael Cuttajar, Adrian Loretti. So Adrian's got past him last time on the draft. Michael's back up it. He's got up the inside as they come down to the boot, but Adrian has kept that around the outside, and Phil Vella is now almost a second in front of these guys. So is Phil now going to check out? We saw this in the first season of 2023. Phil will get to the front, he's battled his way through, and then once he gets to the front, he would just check out. He's got about a second here. We're looking maybe 2 more laps to go as we come inside the final 3 minutes of this motor race here. This is the Shannons Formula 3 Nationals here, round 2 at Watkins Glen. Big thanks to Shannons Insurance jumping on board, supporting us. I suppose it's Shannons, the whole group on board, and we love having them with us. Look at this battle here. Michael Cuttajar, he's pushing hard. Adrian Loretti's got the car squirming under him. Those kitten claws maybe not sticking into the road quite as good as they did at the start of this race.
One of the big talking points now as well, Cowie, Bruce White has managed to... Nathan Verney has dropped down a couple of spots. So now Bruce White is now promoted up into P6. So the leader of the AM...
Does he run a bit wide?
I'm unsure. I think maybe he just got eaten up in the toe.
Yep. Yeah, it's possible. Though he's fallen a bit back. I'm thinking is he conserving? No, just the toe. Yeah, I think you're right. Just the toe, buddy. We've seen how powerful it is tonight.
Yeah.
And it keeps shuffling the deck.
Yeah, I think it's you need to be smart about when you want to go for the toe maneuver, just based on the fact that you might get it done on the second to last lap, and then your opponent has the toe for the last lap, and they're just able to breeze right past you. So.
Well, Michael Cuttajar has got back through on Adrian Loretti, and that gap to Phil Vella out in front is now 1 second. So we're probably only got about a lap and a half to go here. Can Michael Cuttajar close the distance down? I mean, Phil Vella with us 1 second lead with 1 lap to go. I think we'd all like to be in his position, because that might be far enough that Michael still might get the toe, but he's far enough back that he can't do anything about it. Or with it, I should say.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to be within the second to get that toe from the car ahead. So he's just outside the threshold. Same with Loretti as he might. Some tracks it is a second and a half.
Yeah, that's right. I remember I was at Canadian Tire. It was up around 1.6, 1.7 seconds for that back straight.
But it It depends
But
how
he's too far
much.
back.
Yeah, like he's not going to be close enough to actually get a move into the carousel done.
That's right.
What it might do is it might actually drag him in close enough to maybe get a move done at the end of the boot.
Is this the white flag lap? I'm thinking it is.
I'd
We
say
can
it
see
is.
Adrian already. He's the one that can attack Michael Cullager, going defensive on the inside, coming into the carousel. Nathan Gardner's put it in the fence. He's requesting a tow. We'll have to have a look at that later because this, I think, is the final lap, buddy. And it is Michael Cullager and Adrian already fighting hard here. And Phil Vella now has that lead out to 1.3 seconds. So he's done everything he needs to do. All he's got to do is finish another 5 or 6 corners. And round number 2 will fall straight into his lap. Well, I should say he's taken taking it by the scruff of the neck, really, because it's been an awesome drive.
He's done very, very well. This battle is not over yet, though, between Cullager and Loretti. Dixon's even in there just to try and take advantage of any mistakes that happen over the last 2 corners. We're going to pop back up with the leader, though, Phil Vella. He's only just ahead on the track, but he's going to come around the final corner mistake-free. And he will take victory out at Watkins Glen. A massive victory for Phil Vella. Cullager will make his way home in P2. Adrian Loretti out of P3 there. Jay Dixon in P4. Doug Gowans P5. Bruce White will take the win for the amateurs there, finishing P6 overall. Luke Johnson will come home in P2 for the amateurs here tonight. And then Callan Hodgkinson will come home in P3 for the amateur class as well.
Wow. Well, that was certainly an action-packed race here. The Shannons Formula 3 Nationals, guys. If you are enjoying the stream, please give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the great action here at SRW TV. But yes, what a cracker race tonight, buddy. And my buddy Bruce White, 25 positions to find himself P6 overall and winning the amateur division tonight. So I don't think we can go past Bruce for the tempting sweets driver of the day, buddy.
No, I agree.
Look, he took advantage of that strategy call, on that second safety car, and it worked majestically for him. Well, the third safety car, wasn't it? But, he played his cards beautifully and kicked butt, I suppose, didn't he? Look at it here.
He did.
There is our race results on the screen for you guys.
Provisional race results here tonight. We'll go down. You can see the back of the field.
Right. That final safety car restart will be under review with the concertina that cost Matty Jones his wing. Matty Jones did recover to finish in P9, so that's a pretty awesome finish there, coming back from about 21st or 22nd. So he's had an exciting couple of final laps there as well.
Yeah, so we'll see if anyone is in there to have a chat with us, Cowie. I don't know if anyone are in there, but we'll wait and see. We'll see.
It's still early days, and these boys are only just starting to get back to the pits. So one of the requirements is that you need to get the car back to your pit lane under your own steam. So you can't even have someone push you, right? Looks like Michael Cullager has missed the. I think he broke the car actually.
Yeah.
Because I was saying he's missed. Oh no, here he is. He's getting it and putting it on the grid to give us that final picture of our podium finishes here. But yeah, wow, what a great race. I'm losing my voice, so obviously it was a pretty good one.
Yeah. So hopefully these drivers can, as quickly as possible, get in here and have a chat to us.
You're getting past your bedtime, buddy. Come on, we got the start time right this week.
I've been holding on to something until about halfway through this race, so I'm hoping to get it done as quickly as possible, to be honest. And that's all I'm giving. That's the only info I'm giving you. So
I think you're probably giving away a bit too much information now.
Well,
Hamish,
that's why we got Adrian Loretti in there, so we can have a chat to him as well, Cowie. So we'll drag Adrian in. Might as well.
All right. Well, Adrian Loretti, our P3 finisher for the pros here, Watkins Glen. How was that race, buddy? The fuel strategy there. Did that last safety car just bring it home? What is going to be iffy if that last safety car didn't come?
I was extremely iffy. I'll definitely fuel saving at the end, but yeah, I just ran out there and I was doing my burnout, so it was close.
Mate,
Well,
I mean,
mate,
we kind of thought, didn't we, Cowie, that like we saw like Matty Jones come in and we're like, oh, this might be pretty tight for these guys on fuel, like especially on that last safety car. And I was kind of thinking, well, you know, you guys are going to have to save a ridiculous amount. Did the safety car kind of save you, or did you still have to kind of save fuel after the safety car came in?
Both. So the safety car helped massively.
Yeah.
Every extra lap it was doing was good, but yeah, no, I was lifting, and when I was in the tow of the front two guys, I was lifting quite a lot and just staying behind them.
I didn't have the fuel to compete for a higher spot on the podium, Adrian. You happy with P3? I mean, that toe looked like it was extremely powerful down that back straight.
Oh, it was epic. I actually when Carter got me, I think on the second last, I was actually lifting because I wasn't sure on fuel. So if I stayed in it, I probably could have stayed too wide around that right-hander, but yeah, I just had no idea with fuel. The numbers were all out of whack from the safety car.
Well, mate, it was an awesome drive. How many positions up were you? Up a couple of positions, so you qualified pretty good, but must have been a bit scary in the middle there where, you know, a few boys didn't pit and suddenly you're finding yourselves P7, P8, P9 with a bunch of cars around you.
Yeah, that was very scary. When I think I saw one, Senkovic was in front, or two cars in front, on the restart. But no, it was all good.
Awesome, mate. Well, look, congratulations on your podium finish here tonight, mate. We know you're with Kittens Racing, so let us know all about the sponsors out there supporting you guys.
Yep, so we've got Kittens Racing, so thanks to AML Technology, and I shouldn't be thanking Driver 808 because he's over in Hawaii at the moment, but I'll give a shout out to Driver 808 as well, and to my kids, Daniela and Michael.
Awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations, and yeah, a great racing tonight, man, and big field. That's got to be awesome to see as well.
It's always good having a big field. I love that track, and yeah, I was happy to keep it fairly clean.
Awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations once again, and we look forward to seeing you boys on the hunt again next week. Well done.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so Michael Carter still doesn't have a microphone by the looks of it, so he will have to sit back and watch as we talk about his P2 glories. He said good race, gents, there out in the chat, so glad you enjoyed that, Michael, but you still need to get that microphone and come in and talk to us, buddy. But that does mean we can skip straight to our race 2 winner, Phil Vella, round 2 winner, race 3, round 2. But Phil, how was that, mate? You timed your run to perfection, and you just managed to get outside a second with a couple of laps to go, and that was enough to get it done.
Yeah, look, both Michael and Adrian put me under a lot of pressure towards the end there, and I only had 0.4 of a litre as I came around on the final lap there. So I was without that safety car, I wouldn't have got to the end. I would have had to pit. I was playing probably a similar game to both Michael and Adrian of you know, leapfrog on that back straight, spend a lap or two kind of backing off through a few corners, trying to drive down the fuel consumption rates, and then yeah, just try and kind of better time. I think it's really hard to lead on the final safety car here. Not that that was through anything other than luck. But yeah, both Michael and Adrian, I mean, they put an immense amount of pressure on you, but in the same respect, they're super clean, super respectful, and just a real pleasure to race with.
So were you in the same boat there that you still had to save a little bit after the safety car had gone and you went green, or was it flat stick from there?
No, flat stick for me. I think I ran my best lap in those last few laps for a 1:37.5. So,
you have a habit of doing that, buddy.
Yeah, when the fuel burns off, it's a bit easier. But no, I'd kind of saved enough before that I could just go full pelt for the remaining laps.
You got anything you'd like to ask the man there, Hamish, or are you concentrating on something else at the moment, buddy?
Oh, no. I was just, I was quickly just reading a message from someone actually. No, I mean, Phil, you had an immense race. I mean, an immense first 2 rounds as well. And I guess, Cowie kind of clued me in last week on what you can kind of achieve in F3s. And I think you're proving it already within the first 2 rounds. I guess, is it kind of now you expect to do this well for the rest of the season, or you're just kind of taking it race by race and kind of focusing on the little things that are going to matter when it comes to actually getting those good positions in every race throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, no, look, the quality of this field, I don't expect to come out and win at all. I actually think if I came out with that mindset, I'd fail.
Yeah.
Michael, particularly, like his pace, his consistency, and just his precision in placement. Like you see, he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't have silly crashes. He doesn't ruin other people's races. He just gets in head down and to get to that standard, I've probably done an hour of practice before this. Like we had the open practice session. I did a few laps earlier this afternoon just to try get a bit of feel for it. But no, you've absolutely got to do it. I asked the team as well. I'm on Discord with my DFR teammates. So big shout out to Jay and Malbs, as well as the Red Rocket Racing and Velocity Sim Lab guys. And I will ask them questions like, what are you doing in turn one? Because I was losing a tenth or 2/10 through there in the run out nearly every lap, and they really helped me reset a bit. I actually didn't realise till about 40 minutes in that the signs here are indicated in feet, not meters. So it was it was braking far too late for a lot of these to be able to carry speed through them. So yeah, no, you got to keep putting in, absolutely.
Well, buddy, once again, you got it sorted and you've kept it clean and stayed clear of the mess, and you find yourself with the W on the top step again, mate. So, definitely what you're doing is right, I think, at the moment. It's certainly working for you. But we know the Downforce Racing boys out there giving you great support. So let us know who gives your whole team that support there, Phil Vella.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Firstly, I'd like to thank my wife, Monica, for making the time and space for me to enjoy this hobby. Like to thank the guys, kind of top 4 or 5. Just again, that respect, the precision, and the racing is super enjoyable and just keeps me quite energized about coming back to race with you all. I'd like to thank my DFR teammates and Jay specifically. Like to be able to do some of the fuel maths on the fly is not my strength at all. And without that support, I wouldn't be successful. Even he and I were leapfrogging at the start there and trying to save more fuel, and so very privileged to be part of the team there, as well as the other dudes on Discord. Like to thank them, and obviously yourselves. It's a real privilege to take part in the Shannons National Series, and very thankful for the effort that you guys put in as broadcasters, that Greg puts in as race control. Again, a group of highly competitive guys in this close a series. The calls there, and just there are no real process failures there. They get it right again and again. So very, very thankful to the organisers and race control for the series and for making it happen.
Awesome, buddy. Well, once again, congratulations on the great drive. P2, P2, and now P1. You had a 17-point lead on the championship. I'm sure you've extended that gap now, buddy. But we've seen that there's a few guys out there that have got some red-hot pace in the quali. You qualified a bit better this week than last week, buddy, but there's some rocket ships out there, man. So I don't think you have it all your own way. So good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, look, some of those quali times were absolutely stonking, but it's no use putting it on pole when you're running into the back of people a few laps in.
That's it, buddy. Well, congratulations again. I can't say slow and steady because you're definitely not slow, but steady does win the race once again. So congratulations, Phil Vella.
Cheers, guys. Have a great week.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, Hamish.
Well, quickly before we end, we got to remember.
Yep.
We have to do the wheel spin.
Oh, we do for the roulette for tomorrow night. You are
Yes,
correct,
we do.
buddy. Also, I didn't think about it, but race control is probably still working out if guys should be AM or not. So that's why we didn't have the podium for the AM guys in tonight. So we should actually got Bruce White in because he will be our Tempting Sweets driver of the night. But yeah, get that wheel up and running, buddy, and let's see what she spins out.
Let's spin that wheel. And they will be driving the Legacy Ferrari 488 GT3 tomorrow night for the Roulette Series.
Someone called that earlier in the week. I'm sure I saw something in the chat where someone called that we're probably going to end up with that car. So there you go.
Just quickly, we'll spin it again to see what it could have been. Just quickly.
It
It could have been the BMW M3 GT3, so they were definitely going to be racing in a GT3 car this week, no matter what it was
true.
going to be. But it is going to be the Ferrari.
Well, buddy, that brings us to the end of another awesome night of racing here on SRW TV. That is our Shannons Formula 1 Nationals. F3, great racing tonight. We saw action aplenty. That toe was huge, and it just meant that guys were coming back and fighting right to the end of the race. Plenty of action of the other kind too, with lots of safety cars tonight. But what it does do is bunch the field together and give us a barn-standing finish, fuel saving there at the end, everything you could want in a race. Guys, of course, if you are enjoying the content out there, please don't forget to hit the like button. Give us a subscription so that way you don't miss out on any of the great action here at SRW TV. But on behalf of our management and broadcast team here at SRW, on behalf of Hamish alongside me, you did a great job with the pictures tonight and those technical difficulties at the start, buddy. You got it sorted, so well done. Thanks very much. This is Cowie, your average sim racer. We will see you next time on SRW TV.
To turn one, this is amazing. Up and clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill.